And I think that's why a lot of men like being with women who are younger, because they like feeling like they are in a bigger position of power. And they find women, even though they might be just as physically attracted to a woman who is in her late 20s or in her 30s, they find that a lot more challenging because that woman's a lot more likely to challenge their worldview and push back on their ideas. And it'll be a different kind of power dynamic where they're not just going to be able to control every situation. And a lot of guys like to be able to know that they can exert that kind of control and have that kind of authority. And that's why they gravitate towards younger, like, women. And I'm not saying all men who date younger women have that mindset, but that is really common. And I've seen it over and over again.
The problem, you keep bringing up this partnership, and this is it's a tagline that feminism promotes as if it means anything. The reality of it is that not every woman is looking for a partnership. This thing that you guys talk about, that it's like somehow it has to be a positive thing, and otherwise, if you have a more dominant role over a submissive role, that somehow it makes it a negative thing. It's just not true.
No,
Some women are submissive, and that personality trait is going to require a dominant personality over a submissive personality. It's very normal, and it works. That dynamic works.
I'm not saying that can't exist, but that can exist within adult relationships.
It naturally does exist.
Where you can have dominance and like a submissive aspect, but it can exist on, where within two adults who are in a comparable place, there's more of an agency and more of a choice to say, I've lived my life and I know that that's the dynamic that I want. Whereas I think it happens regardless when there is that significant age gap and difference in like where people are at in their lives. Like, it happens regardless of if that person has decided that that's the dynamic that works for them. It's just built in, and I know women who prefer to be in those types of relationships. I know men who prefer to be in those types of relationships. But ultimately, that's still a partnership because both people are getting what they need out of that relationship and contributing in a way that is beneficial to everybody. But I don't think that people who are extremely young and not matured fully yet are able to think through whether or not that's really what they want or if they're getting what they want out of it, like
this notion that you have to live your life in order to know what you want is a very westernized culture. There are cultures where you are matched with the person that you're going to marry. You meet them once or twice. Your parents pick who you're going to marry, and there are no problems. They learn how to be in a relationship.
Sometimes there's no problems. A lot of the time there are still problems.
I'm not saying a lot of the time
these things can't work.
A lot of the time there is a lot of the time